Yo, what's up, guys? Hi, Spin. Hi, O1. Hello, Vindictive. Hi, Bishop. Can you guys hear me fine? Hi, Tommy. Hi, Guinea. What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing? Happy Saturday. I'm not done, but I wanted to stream before I got like way too late. Like way too late. And that's what was happening. Hi, Paul. Hello, hello. My back hurts. Okay, sound is good. PC is good. It's finally the problem's fixed with the new power strip. The problem got fixed. So it doesn't take 10 hours to restart or to shut down or to start up. So I'm very happy about that. Your lower back has been hurting. Have you been like bending down or something? Like what's been happening? You know? Or what? Because like I know you're supposed to bend down a certain way or else your lower back will hurt. Like when you're like cleaning, and my upper back hurts because I've been looking down too much. You know what I mean? Oh, it just started. You should research some searches. So anyways, I've been like messing with the background. I'm probably gonna blur it. The lighting in the front is a little off because the LED lights are messing with other lights. And so I need to figure that out. The bookshelf is back. I brought it back. I did. Vines growing from your ceiling. Oh, wow. Yes, that's what's happening. That's how that works. There's no such thing as hanging plants. I like how that's not like your first thought. You know what I mean? Like seeing a hanging plant. Why is that so delayed? The chat is delayed. You guys are delayed. Not good. But yeah, I'm tired. My back hurts, and yes, hanging plants. Plants that hang, they're meant to hang. Somebody tell him what it is. I'm gonna blur it so you won't be able to read it soon enough. I got this new plugin in order to blur. And I was gonna mess with that, and I'm still gonna mess with it, just FYI. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I wonder if I can like mess with it right now. Let's see, composite blur. Yes, I can. Although it's not what I want to do. Let's see. Zoom. And then inactive radius. Let me see. Just need to like figure out exactly how, like the values, I guess, technically. You know what I mean? Like where, because I need a certain area to be not not like blurred like my face, but the background will be blurred. Okay, guys, it's gonna happen. Just wait. So if I do rectangle, rectangle, and then I do something like this. One sec. I'm gonna figure this out. Wait. No. Right there. Height. There you go. And then now if I do duplicate, and then invert. There you go. That's a bit better. They do. Well, not that. I just need the back. So I still need to get a light that goes right behind me. The purpose here, or like above me. So the point is I need to separate myself from the background, and that's what the whole point of like darkening the background and like blurring it is, because you don't want to like fit into the background. You want your subject to stand out, right? And so I need to do that. But that being said, easier said than done. Wait, I see myself getting blurred. So if I do something like this, there you go. And then I do, let me think. Where is the blur effect? The other one. Blur radius. See? So blur that further. And then There you go. See? Like that. Although that doesn't look good. So I need to figure that out. I'll figure it out though with time. And then it's gonna look great. Yeah, and so my lighting, unfortunately, I'm not gonna be playing chess right now actually. Unfortunately, I need to move the lighting so it's not hitting the back and like lighting up the back too much. So I'm gonna like move it. A part of me thinks that I need one of those like, you know, the lights that are like umbrella? Because it focuses exactly at you without hitting the different parts. I don't know. Thank you, Foley. Thank you, thank you. I don't know how I could do that with the rectangle lights that are just like, you know, flat because they go everywhere. So I think that there's possibility that I'm gonna need like a key light that specifically hits me and so doesn't like it's directed only at the subject and so doesn't hit the background. But I don't know if that's like all necessary right now. I think that as long as the background looks nice, like decent, it should be okay. Hi Tom, what's happening? Good to see you. Did you get the light? I did, but I'm returning them. They didn't work very well, so I ordered another one I'm gonna try, like another two I'm gonna try. Some of them were battery operated and they're just like the circles and I can like put them anywhere behind me in multiple ones and I feel like I have more control. I don't know how long the battery will last, but you know, I'll figure that out and go from there. And so like I'm working with that. And hi Samar, how are you? It's a lot of like trial and error at the moment. So figure it out. Some of them are rechargeable. I think the ones I got aren't, but I looked at some rechargeable ones and I don't know if I like them. I think I ordered a rechargeable one as well. I ordered a few and I'm like, I'm just gonna keep the one I like and return the others. That was like kind of the plan. Like I ended up returning half the stuff I got for the background because I was like, I'm gonna experiment and figure out what looks good and what doesn't. So that painting is covering the thermostat, which is nice. And the bookshelf looks nice. And the only thing is I didn't add anything, like any more decorations. I need to fix this part. I don't know what's going on here, but I'll fix it. But I didn't add any other decorations like in the middle. I didn't want to kind of obscure it because like I need to separate myself from the back, so might have to blur because I don't have like a camera that does that. Apparently the new one blurs. Maybe I need to invest in a new camera. I don't know. What do you guys think? Tom, what do you think? Invest in a new version of this camera? I mean, I can like always blur myself, but it's just like, it's always more work when you have to do it yourself. I just need to like learn how to use this tool better. This plugin is really, really, really good. I just don't know how to use it efficiently yet, or effectively. Most effectively at the moment. I don't know how to do that, and I have to learn how to do that. And I'm tired, you guys. I'm so tired, and I have a lot to clean now. Everything is like all over the place. I had to remove 2 of my monitors because the lighting is like impossible with 5 monitors, like 2 monitors covering the tops. So I removed those. I'm just not gonna use them until I can mount them to the wall when I move or something like that. We'll see. But not right now. But this way I have more possibility with lighting. So I'm happy about that. Very, very happy about that. But yeah, I like the bookcase. I think it looks good there. Keep it there. Anyways, how's everybody doing? My back hurts. My upper back hurts. I need a massage after all of that. That was a lot. Ugh. More cozy, yeah. It's nicer. Like, I think that it just looks better. It doesn't look empty. It looks more professional. You know what I mean? You're sick? What happened? Cold? So, mm, mm, literally, like, my back is just dying. But that's fine. That is fine with me. A lot of people have allergies right now. I've been sneezing a bit more, but I don't think I have allergies. Hi, Yuri. How's it going? It's like here and there, but I know a lot of people have had allergies, so there's that. Tom, thanks for the 46 months. Nice. That's a lot of months. Yeah, for sure, Milwaukee. Yeah. Sneeze, sneeze. Nice. Massagers. I have like a head massage thing, but I don't think it squeezes hard enough. Welcome back, Tom. I was just asking, do you think it's like... I was like considering getting the new version of this camera. Technically there's like a really good blurring tool for OBS, but I gotta like really learn how to use it efficiently. It's not that complicated, but it's like a lot of like attention to detail. But it would be nice if like I had a blur in effect built in. I wonder if that would look better than like manually doing it yourself. A bit cold. COVID 2.0. I feel like everybody probably made that joke already. You came here because of a particular person. Who? The roads are yellow? Where? Why are they yellow? Hey, Joe. What's up with you? Hello, hello. My bag. From all the pollen. I see. Oh, from Lafong. Hello, hello. From his Twitch or YouTube. I think. Did he have a YouTube video of when we played, or was that me? I don't remember. Honestly, I really don't remember. So I really want to be more minimalistic, to be honest. Like, I think that it's so easy to buy things and then just be like, oh, you know, whatever. Like, brush it off. Like, you think you need something and then you don't need it as much as you think you need it, this and that. And so I've decided I'm going to be very, very strict with what I buy from now on, because clutter drives me insane. It literally drives me insane. Okay, the monitors was good. I like the monitors personally, but I hate cables. I'm gonna try to replace anything I can with wireless, and then like I'm not buying any more crap unless I really need it. Like, no more. It feels so wasteful, and it's so stressful. Do you know what I mean, you guys? When you buy something and then you just have it there, it could be a piece of clothing, could be, I don't know, like anything really. Something you thought you would use a lot, you don't. And then you're like, eek, why did I do this? That was not a good idea. It was a waste of money and it's a waste of space. Yeah, and so I'm like, I'm gonna be more mindful of that from now on, and actually, it's our job. No, 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 I don't like that. We have like abundance of things. You can buy anything, and I'm just like, hey, I'm gonna like look at like what I genuinely use and what I don't, and then like really try to find a pattern there, and that should help me with actually buying things that I actually will use. I don't know, I really hate it. And sometimes I think I'll need something, but I don't. Have all your positions or possessions taken from you. Yeah, that's actually very true. Part of me is like, maybe I just need to separate myself from certain things. You know what I mean? I just hate it. I don't like having too many things, especially when I don't have anywhere to store them. And that drives me insane. Like, genuinely drives me insane. I'm not about it anymore. So I'm gonna do some research and probably get more into minimalism and try to, you know, for the updated cameras AI to work. Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, what I'm doing right now will work. I just need to like, you know, put a few hours in and really learn how to use it properly. I know there's a lot to like blurring backgrounds, but it seems like a pretty good thing to know, quite honestly. And this tool has been working pretty well. I just need to like, again, figure out the most efficient and effective way of using it. So I'm gonna try to do that and then go from there. And yeah, I do think I will definitely add like a light right behind me, which I'm waiting for it to come because I just need one more thing to really separate me from the background. Right now, like I don't see any separation. Do you know what I mean? Like if these parts were like highlighted, you know, like your head is highlighted a bit and this is highlighted, I think that then you have that separation. And that should be good. And so those lights should work in theory. We'll definitely see. We'll see. Thank you, Sky. You mask yourself. Basically, this tool, basically what it does is that you can pick areas you want to blur, and it blurs those areas. So it works pretty well. I can change it, yeah. I basically just kept whatever was on, but that I can change. So the back over there, it's gonna look different. The problem right now is that there's not a lot of like space for me to move that light. Do you know what I mean? Like it has to be behind the desk so it doesn't get me. But there's not a lot of space behind the desk, and I kind of like it in the back. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to add 2 of those little LED lights I got right in the back of the bookshelf and get that bigger light and put it like right here as another light and see how that looks. And then obviously a light behind me for separation. And then these lights, I'm going to possibly consider one of those flow lights or whatever they're called, like the umbrella lights, because it would be very nice to have an umbrella light, unless I can figure out how to like not have these lights hitting the background and like lighting it up. I know there's so much spill right now. That's why I was gonna figure that out after, because with the lights off, it looks decent. Like, you know what I mean? Like this to me looks fine. And then I work with that, but the spill is also really bugging me. That's basically what I was gonna do. I'm just waiting for the new lights to come, Tom. This is not the final product. But even with these lights, I need to, I think, position them a bit better. Now that I removed 2 of the monitors, I should be able to. But the problem is that they're just so wide. They go everywhere. So these would be better as like secondary lights maybe, and get like an umbrella light. I don't know. No, I'm not talking about backlight. I'm talking about a key light. For the backlight, for the backlight, I just got some of the little LED lights I was gonna use, but I don't know. Like, I might need something that's better quality. I don't know, but that's the only thing. The dragon. Okay, fine. Well, I didn't get battery backlights. I got extra LED lights that are battery. The backlights I got are not battery operated. I think they may be rechargeable though. Hi James, how's it going? They might be rechargeable. So we'll see about that. I'll go from there. I need like a good quality backlight. So with the LED lights, whatever, but key light and backlight, I think I need good quality. And so maybe I'll look into Elgato and see if they have anything, but I don't know, dude. I don't know. Umbrella light, maybe for a key light. Lighting is so complicated. If I can just figure this out, it would be good. There might be some sort of attachment I can use on the key lights too. We'll see. But like, see, I like this. Like, there's no spillage like this. But yeah, when I put the LED lights on, there's spillage. Like, it wipes my face. And I don't like that. And so that needs to change. 1 second. Yeah, like that's way too much spillage in my opinion. I am fully. So if somebody has advice on like a backlight, I would appreciate that. I guess I can look up the, you know, popular backlights and go from there. But now that I have like more movement or freedom to move around and space to just do what I gotta do, it shouldn't be that complicated. I think I'll figure it out. So yeah. Basically, Sky, basically I do have my lighting. It's a lot, you guys. But improvements. Isn't this so much nicer to look at than before? You know what I mean? Your friend Casey, a happy birthday. Casey. It's not one of those troll like, oh, wish X a happy birthday and then it's like, you know, a troll name, but Casey doesn't sound troll, so happy birthday, Casey. Hi, love. How you doing? It would definitely help if there was more space. Absolutely, it would help. But I'm very like limited with space because of this whole room, the situation. So I try to like move it as much as possible, but this is about it. So I need to like work with the space specifically because this would take a ton of space. This already takes a huge amount of space in a room. So yeah. It would be nice if I had like a studio. Then yeah. To control light, barn doors. Ooh, what? Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's very cool. Yeah, that would be nice. I wonder if Elgato has anything specific like for this, but you're right. Barn doors would be very nice actually. Thank you, Tom. So, well, a light like this though, isn't this more for key light instead of a backlight? Lighting is so confusing. Because, that'd be a little big for icy. Yeah. Okay, we'll see. I'm gonna try to work with the lights I have and see if I can get something going before I get anything else. For the sake of like experimenting and not overdoing it, sometimes it's really easy to overdo it. I do have two very powerful lights and there's a chance I might just need one of them, but they're kind of too big to be as like work as a backlight. Let me just like research backlight, literally just backlight and see what pops up for small studio. Let's just say, yeah, small studio. Okay, so I think those barn doors are a good idea if I can get them, to be honest. Oh, okay. Cardboard box, like as the barn doors, Tom? Or what? Let me see like barn door attachments if something like that would be really cool. Barn door. Is that what they're called? What are they called? Let's see. Okay, well, gave me actual barn doors, so it's definitely not called that. Does he know? Do, do, do. Oh, okay. Fair enough. DIY it. Got it. Okay. Probably spin. I can cut it up. Alright. I mean, I'll try. I'll try to work with it and figure it out. But yeah, right now the light is definitely just going everywhere. To be fair, this isn't a bad look. It's just you don't have those like extra lights. I do think that if I literally just did not add LED lights and put a backlight right behind me, I think I would be good. Okay? Like, I don't think it would be too complicated. Light shaping. Okay. Touche. Oh, great. I got women's shapewear by searching up light shaping. And now I got eyebrows. Okay. Okay. Whatever. I'll figure this out after. This'll be good, you guys. Lighting design. Lighting design. Okay, cool. You can hire me at a new studio and I would be able to work there. Okay, cool. Thank you guys. Thank you, Tom. What attitude I want to project? Yeah, that's very true. I mean, like, I also think if I can just darken the background, but I do believe that that would require light shaping. Whatever, barn doors, because yeah, right now the lights are hitting the whole back. So I could do it from the side and then it wouldn't hit so much of the back. I could definitely try that and then maybe put them vertically. So something like that. Hello, Joe. Foley, that happens so often when you say something and then you get recommendations for it. They're listening. They're very much listening. I wonder if I can like put a really, really big hat around the light. Or just like any sort of object like that. But yeah, cardboard probably would work best. That's very true. I just have to figure out how to like tape it on there the best way so it wouldn't like fall off. If I want to tape it. Yeah, experimenting. They make it very nice. Hi, Dixon. Hi, Christy. Hello. What's going on? YouTube just got a little exciting. I think spins are only mod there. Just FYI, spin. Tinted plexiglass. Tinted, is that like something that goes above it or what? We come in peace, I hope so. When I see like a large crowd that comes together, I'm like, But thank you. One sec. Isn't there, I know there's certain attachments you can buy. Okay. 1 second. Tinted. Interesting. So how does that work though? Probably something is up. I just don't know who it is. That's the problem. But anyways. I have no idea. No idea where, what, who, where. I've been working hard labor all day. And so this is confusing. Very hard labor, relatively speaking. I started reading Mortal Secrets. I think I got halfway through. But I'm reading this other book. I don't know if you guys know. It's called A Little History of Psychology. And it does go more into Freud. And yeah, he has a very interesting views, that's for sure. Yeah, those okay, so I remember learning about gels from this video the other day. That's what they're called. So maybe I could try something like that. Gel specifically. But I'm surprised somebody knows that book. A Sholey. Is that a YouTuber? Who is that? I kind of live under a rock, so I cannot say. Such a what fawn? Oh man. But hey, thank you, I guess. Does psychology make you boring? Well, wouldn't psychology make you more interesting? Right? I think. I don't know. I think that being interested in any topic and being able to discuss those topics makes you more interesting. Unless you only discuss or are interested in one topic, then probably kind of boring. Why is that bookshelf making you dizzy? It's nice. It's not just a square or a rectangle. You know what I mean? Oh, you're reading The Art of War? Nice. I got that book and I never finished it, but I know it's very popular and I do want to eventually read it, but I didn't. But I do hear it's really good. I think most of my books on there are chess related, psychology, or well, some of them are marketing, like Contagious and Made to Stick are more marketing. Made to Stick is about how you can make people remember ideas. And then Sophie's World, obviously, philosophy. Really good book, by the way, if anybody wants to get into philosophy. And then what's the other ones? I haven't read The Scientist yet. Chess, New York, Marcus Aurelius. Yeah. It's a plane taking off. My USCF rating. I haven't played in a while. I started playing, was it 2 years ago? I think it was 2 years ago. I don't remember specifically, but my rating started, I think, with 1308. And then I played in a few tournaments and I got it to 1487. And I haven't played in probably a year now. So I have to get back into playing. Oh, 1482, yeah. So eventually I'll get back into playing. I was doing pretty well. I think my last tournament, never mind, it wasn't a year ago. It was 8-9 months ago, right? Because I played at Marshall Chess Club and I got second place at that tournament. I think that was my last tournament I played in. Or was that before Las Vegas? I don't remember. Whatever. I do, and I still have to read it. Why do they do that, love? Why are there women who go there reading? What? Hi, Cobb, how you doing? Wearing, sorry, not reading, wearing Freud shirt. What? Confusing. There is a lot to unpack there, I agree. I very much agree with that. We come in peace. Thank you for coming in peace, although some of these messages are a little questionable. It reminds me of that one time, who was that one guy? He got banned off of Twitch. Was it Asian Andy? It was Asian Andy, I think. I think that's his name. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure that was him. Do you guys remember that? And then his little squad came into the stream. And then, who was here for that? That was probably a while ago. Love should go to the psychologist, yes. Yes, yes. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the people who did mostly. That's why it kind of feels like those type of vibes, those Asian Andy vibes, if you know what I mean. So yeah. Sec. I guess nobody was here for that. That was such a long time ago. That was probably like 3, 4 years ago. Hmm. But anyways, I'm happy with this progress. We won't be playing chess today, we'll be playing next time, but that's fine. I'll be done with this for the most part. I mean, this is like, hi guys, good to see you. You made it. What's up? This is like such a good start though, because this background just looks so much better. Although part of me wants to just remove that light. Biggest strengths. I'm pretty strategic and classical, especially. Like, I like strategy, and I think that's helped me a lot with improving pretty quickly, but my biggest weakness is probably time and too much second guessing. I do, that's Megan, right? Ah, very nice, Bishop. Very nice. I don't know when I'll do another tournament. I will do another one. Like, I will, I just don't know when. Because they're so time consuming, you guys. You have no idea. Okay, maybe you do. Maybe you played in tournaments before, but like they're so time consuming and they're exhausting. When I played in the Sacramento chess tournament, I was so tired. It was early in the day and there was like 3 games every single day. Or was it 2? I don't remember, dude. It was too long. I'm pretty sure it was 2 because those games were like 4 hours long. And after the first one, I was already dead, and then I had a second one to play, and I'm just like, that's a lot of chess. Hates just chatting. Maybe he should hate it less. There's always something to learn in everything. They're very taxing. I don't understand why. Vinny, there's more out there than chess. Don't be boring. Don't be a boring person who has one hobby only. Yeah. Come on, guys. Be multifaceted. Be more interested in more than one thing. Yes, yes. One day action. So they have them in Marshall. So, mm-hmm. Yes, yes. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Somebody was telling me once, I don't remember who, they're like, I was dating a girl and all she can talk about was hockey. She was hot, but all she could talk about was hockey. She's so boring. There was nothing else to talk about but hockey. And so, we'll send her over. Do you want to be one of those people who can only talk about hockey? That's the question. All right. Otherwise, you have nothing to say. Like, you can't insert opinion about anything. Hotkey. No, no, no. No hotkeys over here. I actually don't use hotkeys, so I can't say, but yeah. If on Did I miss something? So, did Bitcoin go up? Or it went up, right? Because it was like 99K like a few months ago? Or am I tripping? Oh, the highest was 104. Okay, so it did go up because I was like 141 down then. Got it. Got it, got it. Cool. 140 soon. Yeah, can't wait. I should check my my Bitcoin. I haven't checked it in a while, you guys. kind of like forgot about it, you know, because I'm like, I have certain investments and I just kind of forget about them because I'm like, I'm not taking any of them out anyway, so what's the point? Oh, how much did I have in here before? So I think I do skin. I struggle with the well, not specifically with only when it's timed. And like actually, yeah. I would say I do. Like I second guess my moves a lot. It did go up. Well, I put some in afterwards, spin and so I don't remember how much in total it was. So I think it went up like almost 50%. Oh, okay. Wait. How much did it go up? Let me go here and check. Okay, so it went up. Okay. 46%. So almost 50%. That's nice. Yo, that's kind of a lot of money in there right now, I'll be honest. Because I put in like some money 2 months ago, I think. And it went up. Like, okay, I have some money to put in. I'll put it in. And I did. So, it's nice. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I should check my other investments as well. I have some long-term investments. But it's fine. Whatever. This is better than like just buying random things, to be honest. Although I will never give up my coffee, I will say that much. My coffee stays. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. I don't give up that. Okay, I've been streaming for almost an hour. Jeez. Delusionally overconfident. You know what? He's probably right. Yeah, coffee is life, man. Honestly, he's probably right. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yes, yes. Yes, 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 coffee is life. How are you though, Goss? How's everything going? Me too. I have to clear out my bed and there's so much stuff. I'm gonna go crazy. I've been on like a weekend mood, the weekend mood recently. I've been listening to a lot of the weekend. And I like it. I like it. Do 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 do. I'm a crazy person and play all the time. Yeah, it's crazy that you managed to do all of that. It's pretty admirable, to be honest. Because, like, you know, I've been like traveling for like, you know, whatever, how long it takes me to get to Marshall, which obviously is not a whole day trip like it is for some people who are traveling. I'm still like, that's a lot of work. I think it's tired. You know what, Skin? I think that's a good approach. Overall, I think I've been getting more confident. Not just in chess, I would just say in general with the choices I make. Which I think that it doesn't just apply to chess. That rule of being very confident applies to real life too. Obviously, you don't want to be at the level where you're like confident for no damn reason, right? Like there's no action behind your confidence. There's a big difference between being like delusionally confident in the sense that you're going to do something to prove it versus someone who's delusionally confident and they don't do anything, right? So USCS? Yeah. Did it feel good to get away from that? From what? Yeah, it depends what kind of overconfidence. All I'm saying, like, if you can't back it up, Dude, Pred is just confident about the wrong freaking things. He's so confidently wrong. That's the thing. Like, and I think he knows it, but he just likes to be confidently wrong. Yeah. Yeah, I think that he just like deep down knows it, doesn't want to admit it. I stay like that. So. Oh, from online? Yeah. Yeah. They'd love this. They? Is Pred they? I'm pretty sure it's a he with how much he talks about women hating on short guys. Uh, I'm pretty sure he's definitely a he. Yeah, exactly. I think that's a good way of looking at it. Skin, like, be confident based on what you're capable of. That's very, very true. Oh, I would love a digital detox. I need a digital detox, to be honest. Right. I think that's a good way of thinking for sure, and the right way of thinking. And that's basically the same as saying you're putting action behind it, essentially. That's why you can't be confident when there's no action behind it. You look like a dummy. He made a habit of referring to everyone as they until I know. Fair enough. I mean, I guess. Yeah, I make assumptions based on the demographics more than anything. Like chess, like yeah, it's like 95%, probably higher. He just based on like how many girls I've seen in here. Yeah, yeah. So, mm-hmm. Tom, 94% male opponents. Yeah, yeah. Most of my opponents have been male. There have been definitely a few girls. Sometimes I'm like, are they putting me up against the girls? Because like there's like one other girl and somehow I end up against her every single time. Or like two and then I end up against both of them. Hmm. Oh, the women's tournament? How so did you meet anybody cool? Why do you say he hates women? Because he said well, because of the stuff he said in the chat more than anything. Like I can't give you the exact like words, but there's been multiple things that were said in the chat that came off very incel like. And so I think it's a very fair assumption. Yeah. Basically what a fawn said. Hey, what's up, Run? Thank you, thank you. Just need to fix that. I wonder if I should put the green stuff on the other side. I'll figure it out. I'll just mess around with it and see. And he said the other day that the women at his job hate him because they think he's an incel. So I'm assuming he said things that are kind of a, you know, Brad, Bill. Hateful. Well, you know, there's a line, and I think that after a certain point, you're kind of crossing it, you know, because your intent of being disrespectful is full of hate. If, well, your intent is bad, like in bad faith, because of some sort of hatred. You know what I mean? Like, so when is it just disrespectful and when is it a bigger thing? Yeah. So just something you can tell, you know, just based on like patterns. I've been online long enough to know this, but yeah. So and I mentioned you guys, I had mentioned before, I said that that's just not true. You can't overgeneralize with, you know, men and women. Like there will always be women who won't date shorter guys, but not all women do not date short guys. That's just not true. That's not true. It's very much not true. Oh, the weather's nice here, Run. What happened? Who are you apologizing to? Nothing happened. I think. But I stand by that. And plus, there's nothing to stand by. It's just a fact. Like, it's not an opinion that there are women who date short guys or whatever's classified as short. That is a fact. That's not in any way an opinion. Their sorry part happened. It's okay, you didn't do anything to me, but like, um, they want like personality or something. That's funny. That's funny. Why? There's always good songs. Oh, you're welcome, because I'm like, great, amazing taste. Bow down to me. Oh no, you're good. I mean, you can always look at the weather app too, Run. That might be helpful. Nah, it's pretty warm here. You're fine. Although we had like a few cold days out of nowhere. They want personality. Like, see, that's overgeneralization. That is absolutely overgeneralizing. And you should not do that. Because then you make assumptions about people based on a collective overall instead of individuals. Not good. Not good at all. Yeah, for sure, Bill. Short guys the trust fund. It's like, I'll get 2 out of the 3. Wonder, my friend Steve, where is he? He said something like that. He said, you gotta be rich, funny, or good looking. Okay, and you have to have 2 out of the 3, and you're good. You can get a woman. Said, so you gotta be no, was it rich, good looking, or was it 4? I don't remember, dude, but it was something funny like that. Just really rich. It's again overgeneralizing. Do you know how many like women there are with like broke ass dudes who can't feed their kids and they're on welfare? Come on. If they just wanted rich, why are there so many of them? It's a thing. Come on. You guys forgetting about that whole group of women, that whole group of people in general who do not have a lot of money. Like, where do you think their kids came from? Did they spawn? Did those women's kids spawn? The ones who, you know, yeah, exactly, Spin. They're on there for rich people to go around. If Fawn's like, I'm looking for a rich partner. They did kind of spawn well, but they spawned from 2 people, not 1 person. You know? Was it good looking? Now I'm trying to figure out good looking, personality, rich, or funny. Oh, that's what it was. Good looking, personality, rich, or funny. Or something like that. I don't know, dude. I forgot. I don't know. Or wealthy or something like that. Maybe I think personality goes under funny though. But I thought that was a little funny. Get it 4 out of 3. I don't know, dude. Like, I do hear people saying, like, guys specifically, they're like, oh, you know, like, I gotta be rich and stuff like that, blah, 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 or else I won't be able to find anybody. But I'm like, okay, well, there's plenty of women out there who, you know, seem to date the lowest of the low. I think you're fine. You do not need to be very rich. You're gonna be fine. Brussels sprouts. I didn't like Brussels sprouts until I had shredded Brussels sprouts with, like, the sauce and everything, and then I'm like, yeah, this is pretty good. Yeah. Some rich women want to date poor guys, get back at their parents. Some rich guys want to date poor girls. No, I don't think that happens, actually. They just want to date hot girls, but yeah. Anyways. Yeah, something like that. I don't know, dude. See, we're just overgeneralizing here, yeah. Oh, you want to be rich so you don't have to put in the effort for the other 2? That's funny. Yeah, sometimes like having a personality is more difficult than being rich. Yes. Yes, I did, Spin. I just generalized every single guy out there. Oh my god. What do they say now? Not all men, but always men. But anyways, I just thought it was funny. Da 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 da. Da da da. But don't worry, you guys will be fine. Just don't the censorship. Yes, exactly. Don't say that word. Shh. But no. I don't know. Lock in, guys. Do what you gotta do. But don't hate other people in the process. That's what I've learned more than anything. There's nobody to blame for anything, even when you feel like it's not justified. Like, because all of that stuff is out of your control and it will not do anything for you to blame anybody. Like, whatever problem you think you have, whoever you think caused it, doesn't really matter. If you're an adult, there's really usually nobody to blame. Just gotta keep going. Yeah, just gotta better yourself, that's it. Like, playing the blame game is just, it doesn't lead anywhere. If it did something, maybe, but like, I don't even think it makes you feel good. That's why you find people who like blame their parents as adults for their wasted lives, you know? Or like the opposite gender or whoever, doesn't matter, but like they tend to be pretty miserable for a reason, because those things do exist and shitty people exist, obviously, but nobody owes you anything, and you should really be out there doing the best for yourself and loving yourself and blah blah blah, all that cheesy stuff, because nobody else owes it to you at the end of the day. But people like naturally gravitate towards people like that anyways. Like, if you're somebody who genuinely is fun to be around and loves yourself, does not make decisions based on your insecurity, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. Yeah. Exactly. It's always better to like focus on positivity rather than like negative aspects of things, unless there's a purpose behind it. Obviously, it's never black or white. I blame you. No. Blame yourself for watching. Yeah, exactly. Accountability and personal responsibility, absolutely. But at the end of the day, if you're the one who's like, because there's always going to be people who are shitty, and there's always going to be people who don't like you for XYZ, right? Or don't like something about you. And I don't think they're in a position where they give a shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, if that makes sense. Like, if somebody does not like short guys, like, for example, since we were talking about that, do they not give a shit, like, what you think? Do you know what I'm saying? So there's no point of focusing on that a lot of times. Anyways. You know, James, good question. I have no idea. Basically, fun. Rocket League. I haven't played that in forever, dude. It's... Man. Air dribble. I played it when it first came out, and that's it. Hi, study time. How's it going? I did when it came out. I did. That song's stuck in my head. Let's try. I'm not done with work. I gotta get back and like finish this whole fucking room. So much work. Your former wrestling coach is 5'4", found a beautiful 5'1" wife. Yeah, and you have stories like that. I mean, like, you even have stories where the woman's taller, like, and I see it. Like, I see in New York, I'll see couples where the girl is like 4 inches taller, if not more. That's why, like, I think it's just kind of silly to, like, focus so much on the people who don't like you, because there will be somebody who does. Like, it's just, it, like, does nothing. Like, to kind of drown in your misery, it's so bad. And I think it's so easy to do that online because there's so many communities that do that, especially on certain platforms. And like all it does is kind of validate you in the wrong ways. And it's not a good thing. Without heels, yeah, without heels. Even like if they're wearing heels, it's such an exponential difference that they're still gonna be taller. But yeah, without heels. I live in New York. Yeah. Yeah, Gauze, I totally get that. Is there any game that you were thinking about trying? My haircut? Well, not really. My hair is just messy because I've been doing physical work all day and, you know, I look like crap right now, but you know, whatever. I play a lot of farming games. That's what I play like for relaxing. I'm almost done with Coral Island. I've been playing that game since before I moved to New York, and I'm finally finishing it. Oh, thank you, Bishop. A Warzone crew? Haha. That's funny. I was about to call you NM Dale. National Master is such a long name. Dale. NM Dale. I think that's fair. NM Dale. You gotta be proud of that title. But yeah. I was thinking of that too because he said Heels, and it took me a second. I'm like, oh, he means heels. Although that is how you spell heels, but like for whatever reason, I was thinking Heals. Anyways, it's confusing. Puzzle games. Puzzle games. I know there's a few good ones. I can't remember though. Thank you, Seti. Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I like it here. It's very nice. But we'll see. One day I might just like live in a cottage. Like I don't know where I'm gonna be. I really don't, but I'm just saying that. Sometimes I think about that. Like for whatever reason, I always gravitate towards the two extremes. Like very much the city life or like very much the like laid back life where you have a garden and some pigs and chickens. I don't know. But like I think about that sometimes and I'm like, could move to like the countryside somewhere and like have a nice little cottage house and like have some chickens and like a garden and grow my own vegetables. You know what I'm saying? So who knows? Like, I don't know how I'll feel, but I think that these days I've really been trying to explore and figure out how to balance my life. Because I feel like I have the chance to do that. Because I'm messing up my words, I'm tired, but like the chance to really, really figure out what's the most. Bill, thank you so much. That's fun. I appreciate that. You mean HELS fund for healing. Thank you, Bill, as always. Yeah. I said a no, Texas. Yes, Bill is always so generous. Yeah, life balance is, and I'm trying to figure it out, but I think that as I get better at what I'm doing, it becomes much more easy for me to balance. You know what I mean? Like, as I get better at video production overall and like figuring out the lighting and background and the studio is better overall. I do need to set up my other microphone, but that's going to be a pretty like difficult project for a lot of reasons. So that'll happen one day, but as I get this done and then I guess I get better with like script writing and presenting, it gets easier for me to focus on other things and like really balancing it out. Yeah, it really could be, Dale. Do you have a garden? The new Doom game. Is there a new Doom game coming out? Why countryside? Doesn't have to be. Maybe somewhere, you know, I was thinking like countryside somewhere in Europe or something like that. I don't know. It doesn't have to be. We'll see. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I don't know. Life is short, but it's long. You know what I mean? And right now I'm in New York. I don't know where I'll be in the future. I'm gonna figure it out and then go from there. Maybe I'll be a nomad. Who knows? You failed so hard. My tomatoes died too. They couldn't get enough sun. What happened to your tomatoes? What was the problem? Yeah, it's like short but long. Do you know what I mean? Nomad? Nomad, that's funny. We should all move to Russia. I'm gonna move to Nigeria. Yes, yes. And then I'm gonna end up on 90 Day Fiance, and they're gonna be like, wait, aren't you a US citizen? Why are you trying to get a citizenship here? What? Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna end up on 90 Day Fiance. Be trying to marry some American guy to get into the US. And they're gonna be like, but you're already a citizen. What were you doing? Yeah, like Uno reverse them. It's so funny. So I started watching the new season of 90 Day Fiance, and there's this guy, and he's like very interested in like trans women, and he was like looking for one who like he still has like their man parts but like is a woman, and so he was talking to somebody in like Thailand, you know, and then he's like yeah, like I don't really earn a lot here. I have multiple jobs, just like side jobs. And then he was cooking shrimp in his bathroom, and the producer's like, why are you cooking shrimp in your bathroom? And he's like, in his friend's bathroom, actually, he's staying with his friend because he doesn't like have anywhere to live. And so he's like, oh, because of the humidity, you know, I'm getting ready to like go to Thailand because it's humid there and hot and blah, 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 blah. And so he's like cooking shrimp in the bathroom. And then he goes like, yeah, like she has a good job there. I'm thinking about moving there. She thinks she's going to be moving here, but I want to move over there. And she has a stable income, and hopefully I can find a good income. And then like they show, you know, his partner in Thailand, and then partner is like, oh, you know, I really want to move to the US for the opportunities. There's more opportunities there. And I'm just like, oh wow, this is this is 90 Day Fiance, peak 90 Day Fiance. But yeah. So that was, yeah, they both are he's trying to move to Thailand, and she thinks that he like earns money, and he doesn't. Like he's basically broke, living off of different people. And like they showed him shopping with his ex-girlfriend, and then the ex-girlfriend had to pay for his stuff because he's broke. And then he bought a wedding ring for this person, and for I guess his partner, and he spent $50. He's like, oh, that's all I have. And I'm just like, dude, this is chaotic. So chaotic. He's insane. Oh, you watched it? I just started it. I'm on the second episode. Yeah, that's what I figured. I'm like, he's obviously trying to go to Thailand and like, yeah, use his girlfriend. Like, and his girlfriend doesn't know any better, because a lot of people assume that people in the US are like, they, in this show specifically, that for whatever reason they tend to think they have money, when a lot of times these people are actually really broke. Oh, Ed is crazy. Yeah, so it's interesting. uh, Everyone from the USA does have money. Yeah, I'm sure. Some of us have negative money, but still money, I guess. Mm-hmm. I don't know about that. I don't know if Thailand is known for their call centers. Is that a thing? Gosh. But yeah, so I'm a little interested to see how that's gonna play out. And then this other couple, like, there's always a couple where the guy's from Nigeria every single season. every single season, and they're always obviously using them, and it's insane. Like, and these like women can't tell. It's always like a guy from Nigeria and then a woman, and like she's like 20 years older every single time, and like I don't think this time actually. I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong, but anyways, and like very obviously using him because it's very clear they don't like him. And these women are like, no, 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 he loves me, he loves me. And then they like leave. Like Michael, if you guys watched it, he dealt with so much crap. And then I think he like got to the US and like 2 days later, he literally abandoned her and like went to another state. It's so funny. I'm pretty sure it was like 2 days. But yeah. So it's a good show, you guys. It's a good show. It's like you know how the 90s had Jerry Springer and maybe the early 2000s? 90 Day Fiancé is like Jerry Springer of the 90s. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's the new, yeah, like appeals to a new demographic of people, and yeah. The deaf couple, I think that the deaf couple was last season. This season has the blind couple, or like, no, wait. Yeah. So this Nigerian dude is blind, and she said that she likes him even more because he's blind and she feels really unattractive. She doesn't like taking off her shirt when, and so, like, when she gets intimate. And she's like, yeah, I got even more attracted to him after I figured out he was blind. And I'm just like, what? That's crazy thing to say on television. So yeah. It's crazy. Anyways, yeah, it's good. I missed it. I haven't watched it in a while. I like took a break because I watched too much of it, but back to it and I'm like, dang. Peak reality TV right there. It's really good. I don't know a lot. Well, I think a lot of people do that. Like, say that, for example, a lot of these people I think are kind of insecure and they date somebody who is seen as out of their league, like they're younger and more attractive, right? Like in this show especially, like they'll date like young and attractive guys, and then a lot of them like tend to not take good care of themselves, like the woman that they're dating. And it's so clear that there's like this weird discrepancy, you know what I mean? Like where it's like, okay, why is this person actually interested in this person when they're literally like objectively attractive, like they, have that look and they're young still, and they're dating somebody who clearly does not really take care of themselves and is much older, like 20-30 years older. So it's very, very clear. And so when that happens, I think that the person who is dating this younger person is kind of objectifying them, to be honest. Like, you can say what you will, but that's really what it is, because when you allow somebody to treat you like shit like that, usually there's some reason behind it, right? And in a lot of these cases, because they're hot. It's true. They're hot. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. And that's the problem with dating people just because they're hot and then lying to yourself and telling yourself that you like them because of their personality, when in fact the primary reason you like this person is because they're hot, they're attractive. And then you start making excuses for them because you put them on this pedestal. If you think about it, a lot of people do this. It's a thing. You can say whatever you want. I know it's a thing. Thank you for the 11 months. Good to see you, Audie. How you been? But it's a thing. Like, we know it is. And it's because a lot of us go through that when we're younger, but that is not something you should be going through in your 40s and 50s. Yeah, that's true. There are millions of people. Yeah. Yeah. So just lie to yourself, you guys. That's how a lot of people do it. No, I'm joking. Don't do that. Know that you deserve more than that. But It is a thing, like liking somebody because they're perfect on paper. And then making excuses for them because you think they're perfect for you. But yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you like what you can fix them into? The whole fixing people, you mean? Or is that what we're talking about? Because that's also like super unattractive. No, I don't. Ugh. Ugh. That's like so. That's like so teenage coded. The whole I can fix them. Like, I think that that's something that you would say as a teenager, and hopefully you're not saying that after like your mid 20s. You know, maybe like if early 20s, you still might say that, "Oh, I can fix them." But I would very much hope, I would very much hope you're not doing that later in your life because that doesn't like go well. Exactly, Trey. That definitely is possible. So, absolutely. And I mean, like, I understand why, you know what I mean? But that's not, it's just, it's still, there's no excuse behind it. Like I get it, like it's a bonus when you're dating somebody really attractive, but that's all it is. It's really a bonus if that makes sense. Because initially all you really need is attraction. It doesn't have to be like, oh my god, they're perfect, like they light up the whole room when they walk in, this and that, blah blah blah. Because attraction does tend to grow a lot as you start to like somebody, but there does need to be a little bit of attraction from the beginning, in my opinion. Like, obviously it won't work out if you're not attracted to somebody at all, as long as, like, you know, they like suit your taste to a certain extent. It'll grow from there a lot of times. But sometimes, like, what happens is that they're totally your type, right? Like, I don't know, they fit the criteria very well, and then you start making excuses early on when you shouldn't, because you're just really attracted to them. So that's when you kind of have to be careful, in my opinion. Like when you're very attracted to somebody and then yeah. Nice. 2200. What have you been writing? Exactly, Ufon. My girlfriend thinks I'm ugly. What? Your girlfriend told you she thinks you're ugly? Yeah, absolutely. And that is definitely a thing. A lot of people do absolutely keep those bad habits. And when I say it's teenage coded, I know it happens as an adult, but what I'm saying is that it shouldn't, because those are life lessons you should learn when you experience it once or twice, right? And when you're going through the same BS, and oftentimes you experience it when you're younger because you don't know better. Like when you're a teenager, you think that you can change people. And as you go through those experiences, you learn, oh shit, I really can't change people. It's actually one of the most difficult things to do out there. And that's why when you're an adult, you should be able to like not put yourself in those situations because you know better, because you've experienced it and you experience the pain that comes with it. And so when you're an adult and you're doing that crap, like you're really delusional or an idiot. Like, I don't know. But you should not be doing that as an adult if you've been through those experiences. Like, life is really all about learning from your experiences. It's not about not messing up, because you will mess up. But when you're making the same mistake over and over again, you're just an idiot. There's nothing more to it. Like, you need to like get away from relationships, take a step back and really do some self-reflection, because there's a problem with the lack of self-reflection in that case a lot of times. So gotta learn, like, obviously it's not as simple as you're an idiot, there's more to it, but like all I'm saying is that learn how to self-reflect and learn from your mistakes. That's on you. Like, that's not on anybody else. You have to be able to do that, or else your life is going to be very difficult, and the only person to blame will be yourself at that point. Exactly. Like changing yourself is really, really difficult. So changing somebody else is even more difficult. And so it is really frustrating because you do see a lot of adults who act like little children. Like they're so emotionally immature. And you're just like, what have you been doing all your life? Like, and then you look at them and then they've been blaming other people a lot of times. They've been blaming other situations or they never take accountability. And that's why I have such a problem with people who don't take accountability for things. Like where they're like, oh, you know, like this person's the problem, that group of people are the problem, you know, I can't get dates because of this or that. And it's like, because of this person or that person. It's like, dude, like, there's like no self-reflection done in that like scenario at all. And that bothers me. It leads to a lot of animosity, and then you get people who are just super insecure and leaving hate comments and causing more problems for our society overall. So yeah, there are a lot of bad parents, and that's like a whole other issue too, but it's absolutely a thing. But I do believe that with media, as much bad as there is, there's also a lot of good. And I think a lot of people unfortunately are in situations where their parents don't really teach them that stuff. Like, I feel like I learned that stuff for myself for the most part. But that's the thing, right? It's very much true. And as a kid, you might be more susceptible to that. Like if you don't have parents who can teach you the stuff. But as an adult, you do have the resources much more often to do something about it. And so like at some point, right, it might take you longer to reach that point of self-reflection if you weren't guided towards it, but you should still reach it. Yeah, exactly, Fawn. Yeah. So we're speaking with specifically experiences. If you haven't had experiences, I think it's a little different, but a lot of people have, and they've just continued the pattern. Oh, thank you, Seti. But yeah. But there's absolutely like a lot of resources. Like there's so many like even videos now, you know, of people talking about their experiences. Same with TikTok. I think TikTok really brought a lot of people together in that regard too, because a lot of people started sharing their experiences and the crap they've been through. And then, you know, you have like that whole thread basically. And so you kind of ultimately have to decide it for yourself, but self-reflection is something that definitely is extremely important. And I do agree that some people kind of are late to that, but still, you gotta reach it. Hmm. Yep, yep. Hmm. All right. Any questions, comments, concerns? Yeah, it is. It's like a loop. It is a constant loop. And here's the thing though, it's people can tell you exactly what you need to do, but that's not how it works, right? Like somebody could give you the answer, but kind of think of it like math. When you reach the answer without showing your work. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times you're going to have to really go through it to learn, even when you have the answer. So like you'll still go through it to reach the same answer, but you might take a different path. But it's about having like the right mindset going through it too. And I think that's where a lot of people like fall flat in a lot of cases. Everything really should be a learning experience more than anything. Like, what can I get out of it instead of something that's like, how do I put it? Like, something that is just out to hurt somebody or something like that. Like, in vain, almost. Spin. Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely a thing, what you mentioned. Why? Like, is definitely a thing, especially when you're younger. And then you have these podcasts, you have these people just in general who are kind of guiding people, kids, a certain direction, especially in this environment we are in right now overall. It does lead to that. And it's just unfortunate because a lot of it is, it's very, like hateful almost. Maybe not even hateful, but creates a lot of division. And that's my biggest problem with it. There's like a lot of things out there. How do I explain this? Like, I'm trying to think of a good example. But, you know, you mentioned Andrew Tate, and I know there's like a few other podcasts like that, but there's so much division that's created there, and it becomes no longer we're people, but it's like you have two groups of people, men and women, and that type of division to that extent causes a lot of problems. And then, you know, you have like this like war almost, and goes much deeper, but it is extremely problematic because it kind of takes out the humanity in each person and almost like makes a group of people less than, like, subhuman. And like, say what you will, right? I'm sure some of you maybe listen to those podcasts, you like them, whatever, but that's what it kind of does when you're telling somebody that their values derive from XYZ and another person's derived from whatever. Like, anyways, yeah, so it's extremely problematic. It's not good. Right. Yeah, idolizing people definitely is not it. Yeah, emotions aren't rational, but a lot of things aren't rational, and humans don't make decisions mostly based on rationality. They make them mostly based on emotion. Like, even these things like that people discuss, and there's like a good amount of videos that really go into this topic, but like, people don't want the truth a lot of times. They want what will make them fit into the group. Do you know what I'm saying? Whatever view that is. Like, so that's why it's also very difficult to change people. What do I do? I don't know. Find yourself 3 wives. You know what I mean? Mm. Yeah. Yeah, everybody is a mixed bag. People are interesting. Yeah. I think it's more so the way that emotions work, right, is that you have the emotion and then you have the feeling. So your emotion can be sadness, and how you feel about that sadness then like creates a reaction, right? And so like that's why it's good to be able to separate them and like to really understand why you're feeling that way. And so where was I going with this? I totally forgot. Where the heck was I going with this? Oh yeah, like rationalizing things. So it's more so like feeling a certain emotion and then never mind. I don't know, dude. I'm tired. It'll come to me eventually. Well, you have emotion, then you have feeling, then you have reaction, I would say. Depends like how you like decipher that emotion specifically. Like, why are you feeling that emotion? And then you have your reaction. Like, you think about it and then you react to it. I think some people want to see the side of the other person they like. Yeah. But that's like, you know, that's really just taking the humanity out of a person because nobody's perfect. And so, you know, you can like, you'll never have the perfect, how do I put it? Like, the perfect relationship, because the perfect relationship isn't what you actually want. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just not possible. Like, we have these ideas, right? Like, we're like, if this person meets this whole list, they're going to be perfect for us, but that's not how that usually works. Yeah, but it's not even like processing emotions. I guess it's also, I don't know how to explain it. Because yeah, processing emotions, everybody processes it differently, but it's the way that like, I guess it is like how you react to your emotion. And like, because I remember I was talking to my therapist about this and we were discussing emotion and feeling. And yeah, she mentioned that you can control feelings, you can't control emotions. So you can control how you react to an emotion, but you can't control feeling it. But so that's why it's so important that when you are feeling a certain emotion, you understand why and you're not confusing what you're thinking with the emotion you're feeling. Like, I know it's a little complicated, but hopefully it makes sense. Yeah. Well, so how'd I put this? You have emotion, it's physiological, right? And then you might feel a certain way, like you're feeling this emotion, whatever's, you're reacting to something that's happening around you or inside you, right? And the way that you frame it, that you can control, right? Like, I feel like XYZ. Like, that part you technically can control, yes. It is WY, yes, yes. Yeah. Subtly attacking yourself. Basically, yeah. Like, I mean, you are hurting yourself in the process because it's just not realistic. Yeah. So I wish that there was a better way of like explaining that, but technically feelings are not considered emotions. Feelings are like the way that you react to the emotion more than anything. So like it's interesting. I wish that like I had better words for this specifically to explain this, but it's something that like really stuck with me because yeah, she was telling me like that you should not, what was she saying specifically like when it comes to like feeling things? Ugh. I'm gonna remember and get back to you guys about that. I need to think about it. Well, feelings a way of thinking. I don't I mean it is technically thinking. Like you're making sense of the emotion. But the problem with that is that we don't always understand exactly why we feel a certain emotion. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's something to consider too. There are sometimes moments where you feel something, like you feel sadness, right? And you might think you feel it for this reason, but it might be a completely different reason. And that's why it's good to be able to explore those and like really try to understand it because it's not always like so simple. So I say, yeah, but this is more from like psychological POV, like well, physiological, I guess too. Genuinely too busy at the moment. Fair enough. Hi CJ, how's it going? Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Afon. It's what girls value. It's just that you're overly generalizing, Roper. What girls? Again, like, I mean, there might be true to it, obviously, right? Like, people value those things, you're right. Like, somebody being wealthy, just like men value women who are hot a lot of times. That's like how it's viewed in society. Like, women look at rich dudes, men look at hot girls, I guess. Like, that's, but there's much more to it than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much more to it than that because ultimately, every single human being tends to value somebody they can connect with, aka somebody who usually has a decent personality. But but it's not even like true because I think that those are things for a lot of women that are bonuses. They're not like a necessity. Somebody who's rich per se, I think somebody who can take care of themselves is a whole different thing. And I think that absolutely, like any person who specifically Sorry, let me think about this. Any person who takes care of themselves, right, has their shit together, they're not gonna go for somebody who's like all over the place. So then, yeah, you're probably like valuing somebody who's stable more than like rich specifically. Like they don't need to be rich. So I think there's a difference. Maybe first last. I don't know. I gotta think about that. Well, more like look into it. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, those things matter a lot. Charisma does matter. Probably more than like most other things in my opinion. Like somebody who is funny and like charming, like you know, somebody people gravitate towards. Yeah, those people tend to get a lot experience. Yeah, might not be good for us. Yeah, until you learn, until you learn. You can't pay the rent with funny. That's why I said stable. I think that's just like the base though. Most people, like I said, who are stable in the sense that like they kind of have their shit together, they tend to go for other people who have their shit together. But they don't go for other people every single time they're way wealthier than they are. Like that's not the case. And oftentimes I think that people who have their shit together are mistaken for being rich. Like meaning that when people say, "Oh, like people out there just want somebody who's rich," right? I think they're literally mistaking stable for wealth, in my opinion. Hmm. Yeah, and the problem with like, right, so like when you focus too much on things like income, the way you look, like what you're mentioning, height specifically, and not so much on personality and the core of the person, ultimately it does lead to failure a lot of times for very obvious reasons because like materialistic things at the end of the day like don't satisfy you unless you can keep it going. But then you don't really have a relationship a lot of times. It's more so like I don't know, I don't know how that works, but I'm assuming, you know, like when you marry for money specifically and you don't really get along too well, you're probably not really like enjoying each other's company and like building a close connection too much. But those things are pretty important. Like really important. Yeah, there's got to be like chemistry and a real connection there. Like somebody you actually see yourself with and you want to hang out with and talk to. Those things matter a lot. Hmm. Right. It's okay, Roper. Hope you feel better. Comedians. Dude, I bet comedians get, you know, a lot of girls. I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends how funny you are. There's some I've been to in New York that are just really, really bad, and I'm like, no, no, I don't think they get any girls. At least not for their comedy. Yeah. The hill I'll die on is that I'm funny. Like, I don't care what anybody says. I make myself laugh. I'm funny, and I stand by it, and I am going to die on that hill. Okay? That is my hill. Like, that's the one thing I will I will stand by. All right, so yeah, just want to put that out there that I'm funny. I don't care what you guys think. See, I told you, Spin. Play Rocket League, dude. You're champing, dude. Get out of here with your Rocket League, man. What? Why do you? I can't believe people still play that game. How about a real car in real life with a real ball? Thank you, CG. Yeah, because I'm funny, Afon. Absolutely. Absolutely. By Squancy Airy Hands. Okay, okay. Cheers. I'm gonna finish my matcha because prices went up again. And this is probably the last time I'll have matcha for a while because matcha is like Pilates. It's a rich person sport slash drink. Pilates, like reformer Pilates specifically, are so overpriced. You guys have no idea. You don't know. I've never ever seen a service offer with no subscription like that. They didn't have a subscription for Pilates reformers. Like there's only packages. 8 packages, $600. 9 packages, whatever the price was, 900, blah blah blah. I don't remember. So like 9 classes. There's no unlimited subscription. You're paying for each class and it's almost $100 for like 45 minutes. FYI. There's no other fucking sport like not sport, sorry, exercise like that. So Pilates is like matcha because this small matcha cost me almost $10. It was like 9 something. Well, Pilates reformer is different. It's with the reformer machines. They're very effective and it's a lot of fun, but it's something that's like really like all the wealthy people started doing it and then it just became something that's like for the wealthy. Like I know the Kardashians do it. Like I know even Pokimane got into like reformer Pilates. I used to do it a few years back. Now it's just like, why would I ever? I might as well get a reformer machine for myself and do it. But like, yeah, that's true, love. I agree with that. Thanks. Living mysterious. But yeah, and I don't know. I know that there's a subscription service somewhere in the city where you subscribe to get coffee. But yeah. So, anyways, matcha latte expensive. Pilates expensive. Seems like is that like a thing with like hmm. Ugh, I don't know, whatever. Is it delivered? They started with Starbucks started with a subscription? Hmm, interesting. Yeah, yeah, you kind of are paying for the Insta story post, I guess. Yeah, it's a little crazy though. All the things I like. Hmm, it's way too expensive, quite honestly. Yeah, yeah. What's nice though, I think, is that when you genuinely start liking your own company and you start to really just enjoy yourself and who you are, you stop feeling so desperate for like any romantic relationship. And that's like usually when you probably find the good relationships. But yeah, desperation I think often leads to bad situations, which I totally understand why people are. Like it's almost like a part of us in a way, but eh. Oh, interesting, Fawn. I didn't know about that. You can tell her that she looks. I mean, you can, depends on the context, but if you give a woman compliments, you need to really limit how many compliments you give them because at some point it loses its value. And at another point, it becomes creepy. Yeah. I did go to college, yeah. I graduated with communications and computer science minor. Sometimes works. Telling them you have a wife? Hmm. Maxing out their author array and getting on a budget. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. You know. Yeah, I guess. Always. Yeah. 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 If you want to have a lot of kids, you have to start early. Hmm. Yeah, well, it's a lot of things, right? So communications, it's language, it's logic. Like you study debate, like you learn how to debate. You learn the rules of logic. You know, you learn about conflict resolution. You learn about the value of words and how they, you know, come into play overall. Like interesting stuff like that. So I wonder, let's see what other classes there are. Like you learn how to present well, or at least present and do that. I do go to the gym, yeah. So I guess in a way, yeah, you're studying like how information is sent and received. But yeah, it's really, really interesting stuff. Like, I don't know, I really liked it. I'm glad I took it. I think I've learned a lot. And I'm still learning a lot, to be honest. I wish I took even more classes. But it's very interesting. Like when you start to really understand language and how like verbal communication, nonverbal communication comes into play in different situations, right? And like wording specifically, it becomes very, very interesting. And then you start to really focus more on like how you word things, I would say almost too. And like you understand more of what people are not saying per se, but like, how do I explain this, man? It's kind of difficult to explain. I very much enjoy debating. Yeah. Yeah. How do I explain it? Like, I want to explain it better, but I'm struggling here. Like, I guess you can be more tuned into. No, that's not the best way of saying it. I guess you learn the importance of clear communication and no, I'm still struggling. No, it's hard to explain it. It's very broad. Like communications overall is very, very broad. But it's the study of, you know, communicating overall. Like, but it's no. Well, that's persuasion actually. We did learn about persuasion. Like we did learn about that. Yes, so you learn about verbal communication, nonverbal communication, understanding body language. You'll go into that. There's some classes that go into that. And then like the value of words, right? And how words change over time and how like the connotation attached to them, right? So certain words have certain connotations attached to them, like for different people. So like you learn about how in society, right? Like you have this shift over time too. And how certain words can invoke a negative reaction in somebody. So I don't know, it's very, very interesting stuff, but it is very useful. Yes, persuasion, I took a class on it and we went into marketing specifically and how they would advertise and persuade people subconsciously. So it was very interesting. So a lot of that is done, like you have these tactics that are used in advertising and sales too, in order to almost force people into buying things, but they kind of thought it was their own choice, but it's kind of like there's much more to it. because there's certain like manipulation tactics, but persuasion and manipulation are two different things. So there's an interesting line between them, right? No, you don't. Oh, me? Oh, I love debating. Words can't hurt your feelings without consent. Yes, yes. What? That's confusing. Anything and everything. Debating is fun. Absolutely. Everyone in contact lives forever. Wait, what? Sometimes I just don't know what I'm reading. I don't know. I need to like find a better way to explain communications because it's a little difficult. It's so like vague. They're not though. And like when I was studying this and we were learning about it, so manipulation, right, is you're basically making somebody do something for you, right? That is harmful to them. Persuasion isn't that though. The persuasion is you're persuading somebody to do something with no intent to harm them. When you're not communicating? Yeah, good question. You can manipulate. Well, no, the definition of manipulation does not fit what you just said to something to better themselves. That's not the definition of manipulation. I'll just pull it up. Let me just do manipulate. I need a like the exact definition for it. You can, yes. Without them knowing, you can, yeah. Yeah, but it's not just a negative connotation. I think the definition's different. Right. Like the definition. Right. And that's the thing, like the definition of them is different. Like, yeah, with manipulation, you're trying to make somebody do something basically that's harmful to them in some sort of way. Like, or through harmful means more than anything. Like, okay, psychology. Let's see. Second. Well, I think that's, well, I see what you're trying to say. A group of friends to buy him a gift he would buy himself. But I knew in doing so, force him. I see what you're saying. I don't know if manipulation would fit that though. I don't know. Maybe it would, but I don't know. But I just know that it's not the same thing as persuasion. Now I'm confused. Deceptive or unfair means. I don't know, dude. Let's see. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Technically fits the verb. So. Reasoning, honesty. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Okay, in psychology, manipulation is defined as an action designed to influence or control another person, usually in an underhanded or unfair manner, which facilitates one personal aim. Wait, so facilitates one's personal aim. Shaking my leg and I couldn't read at the same time. Okay, so manipulation is generally considered a dishonest form of social influence, as it's used at the expense of others. They use the word usually, and so that's not... So I mean, I guess technically it could be considered manipulation even if the intent was good. Well, Tom, all I'm saying is they're not the same thing more than anything. Like persuading somebody and manipulating, because manipulating is usually done without somebody really knowing. Persuading is more of like, I think, direct. Yeah. The strict meaning of manipulation is simply apply or control. Right. So I do think that that probably fits the definition. Yeah. Persuasion is... Right. Interesting. Yeah. I wish I still had that book. Like, what was the definition they used? I'm trying to think. But, yeah. Manipulation. Differentiation. Okay, so right here it says manipulation differs from general influence and persuasion. Right here on the psychology Wikipedia page. Manipulation, unlike persuasion, typically involves exploiting the vulnerabilities of an individual. Non-manipulative influence is generally perceived to be harmless, and it is not seen as unduly coercive to the individual's right of acceptance or rejection of influence. Persuasion is the ability to move others to a desired action, usually within the context of a specific goal. Persuasion often attempts to influence a person's beliefs, religion, motivation, or behavior, and influence and persuasion are neither positive nor negative, unlike manipulation, which is strictly negative. So I don't know if it would be considered manipulation because it says here that manipulation was strictly negative, so I'm confused now. No, I mean, I was just going based off the definition because I've always seen it as negative, but then it said usually. Usually is not very persuasive. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's what I'm confused about. Like, what? Can somebody put this on Wikipedia? Not Wikipedia, on freaking ChatGPT. See what it says. Put in Audie's story and be like, what is that? It's not manipulation, is it? Are all those chess books? No. Yes. Interesting. Very true, Fawn. Very true. It's just by far the minority meaning. Yeah, and now I'm just more confused because here it says that manipulation is strictly negative. Influence. Really? So you influence somebody even if you're... Okay, so he made somebody do something. Like, Audie, you said you made his friends buy the gift. So, oh, you know what? Influence is a good word. Right, Bill, right. So influence. And that's the positive manipulation. Because, yeah, manipulation does have a negative connotation. And I don't know why it says usually. I guess all that means really is that... Let me see. Non-manipulative influence is generally perceived to be harmless and is not seen as unduly coercive. Let me see. Yeah, CG, that's the class I took. It was talking about... It had like a few chapters on that and how people are manipulated to buy shit. Mm, no, I don't think it just has a broad meaning specifically. This is focusing on the psychology, like the psychological meaning specifically, which I think is what I've learned about too. It has a pretty direct meaning in that case. Yeah. Like people can say whatever they want, right? Like they can say something like that. They can say that you gaslit them, but if by definition you did not gaslight them, they that's just an opinion. It's not I mean, there's nothing more to it. It's not really true, is it? That's the thing. Like we have words for a reason to explain different situations, different actions, different events, whatever, right? The whole purpose of words. Just explain things, really. I don't know. So that's why it's kind of important to use words properly, and that's why they change meaning over time. As people use words more and more loosely, the meaning kind of shifts. Yeah, exactly, Bill. Mm-mm. I started, it did not finish. Yeah. So that's why it's pretty important for clear communication, by the way, because it's a way to explain and express ourselves, correct? That you use the right words. You can't just say somebody's gaslighting you when they're not gaslighting you. You can't say somebody's physically hurting you when they haven't attacked you. Like, do you get my point? Like, it's. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, Tom, totally. Mm. I also started reading that. Tom, did you ever finish 48 Laws of Power? Yeah. I hope I made it clear. I'm just saying, guys. Maybe I do spin. Mm. My book club membership. Your what? I finished it. Do we get halfway through? I think so. That book is evil. I know it was banned in prison. Members, you never invited me. Pretty sure I asked you about it. Well, it's good to know them, like, so you don't fall for that crap, right? Like, that's kind of the point. So it's not exactly evil if you can learn from it and use it to inform yourself. Like that's what you learn from that. It doesn't mean you have to do it. It means okay, well now I know what to look out for. You know, you can gain your knowledge through experience, or you can gain it through reading. So read so it doesn't happen to you. It felt darkening. Fair enough, I guess, Bishop. I don't know. Well, if you want to learn from other people's mistakes, read the book, right? Because it like tells you about people's mistakes. Correct? It is a dark book. I don't know. I thought the pages were pretty white. Hmm. Gives me a pat to focus. Yeah. I started reading that book too, and I need to finish all these books. I told you guys I was funny. I said it. I'm gonna die on that hill. I'm dying on that hill. Okay. Like, nobody can take me off of it. I'm like a tree stuck on the hill, on top of the hill. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I read it, but I might go back and like reread it. I mean, I've been reading like Made to Stick. I mean, done with that. I love Sophie's World. Love it. Read that twice. I need to read Contagious still. I've read halfway through this. But I like it. Okay. I like dark though. Yeah, no, I'm gonna read it. I will. I need to. I need to get back to reading very often. And plus it's more difficult. When you read about someone else's experience, it's much more difficult to like remember that than when you experience it yourself and you suffer. Thinking fast and slow. Thinking fast and slow. Actually, I did more than read. Like, I did learn about the concepts. Yeah. I've just been kind of bad, to be honest. Like, I feel like these days I just haven't had the motivation. And I don't know. To get back on it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. Darkness. I like it. I mean, I think we all have bad as we have good within us, clearly. And I do agree with that. Like, I tend to think that, you know, like being aware of the bad and then blah, 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 blah is good for you. Yes, yes. Yeah, that too, Bill. Ugh. Don't remind me, Bill. I've already been doing that and like lighting is difficult. This is what I mean. I think this is the problem. I'm a little overwhelmed. Like with all this crap I've been doing with like the background and like the lighting and the moving shit around and blah 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 blah. Like I'm going insane. Like there's too many things, too many learning curves. You know what I mean? I might, but I don't know if there's much of an audience for it, but I might. First, we'll see. I've been working on my other channel recently, and I'm working on my next video. It's going to be on the Dunning-Kruger effect, and I've been practicing a lot of presenting, like just recording overall, and then the script took a while to write, probably a few weeks of like refining. And so nice, Bishop. Very nice. The top fifth of the Dunning-Kruger knowers. All about it. Can't touch me. But yeah, so it's gonna be fun. I like learning about these things though. Like it's always so fun making like or working on a video. Like when I was working on polymorphy, I learned so much. Like so many interesting things, not just about him, but about history during that time period. And that was very fun. And then with the Dunning-Kruger, I mean, I learned a lot. Like I really started going into metacognition, which is what you kind of need in order to avoid falling victim to the Dunning-Kruger effect. And so started learning about that. And then I started learning about this other psychological concept. What the heck was it called? But it was very, very interesting. It talked about how people make decisions and how people prioritize fast decisions versus quality decisions at certain points, and like good decisions but slower, right? So it like really went into that and like how the brain works around that, and it was really, really, really interesting. So I don't know, I really liked it. Like I really liked it. So I learned a lot. So I'm excited to share it. Hi Rigel, how you doing? Right. Exactly, Paul. So when you're playing Bullet, you're making fast decisions, but definitely not quality decisions most of the time. Mm-hmm. Having not read the books, you don't know what the tactics are. Well, what do you mean having not read the books? Who are you talking to? Mm-hmm. Oh, he's talking to Roper. I couldn't see it. Oh. Yeah, I tend to agree that you need to be informed on topics like that, or else you do fall victim to them. Same thing with, like, especially in politics, dare I say, but politics screams like manipulation. Like, that's why you do need to be informed on these things very much. You very, very, very much do. And not just manipulation, okay? You got to be informed on logic. Because when I was taking my classes in college and I had to like go through a few of those political debates, like they're more like a entertainment reality TV show than they are anything more than that. Like that was how I felt listening to them because there was just so many fallacies all around. And so I think so, Joe. I do tend to read quite a bit. Not good at finishing, but like I eventually do. I just read like 6 books at once. Mm-hmm. That BS detector requires knowledge. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it requires knowledge. Okay? Like, you gotta know where the BS is. Yeah. But that's the problem. A lot of people are not well informed, so and it's not easy to be like, I totally understand. But also it's just like focusing on the speech and the communication, what's being said and how it's being said helps a lot. Even like if you don't like really know what is going on, right? Like say you don't really keep up with that stuff, you don't keep up with news, blah blah blah. But if you understand just like the fundamentals of debate, right? Like, it's not difficult to break down and be like, okay, well, this is not like in good faith at all. So, but yeah. Yeah. Maybe fun, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about specifically debate because this was a debate and I had to study it and like go through the rules of debate and then like what they're doing in these debates and yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm specifically focusing on that because there's so many aspects of stuff. It's not just that, right? It's complicated stuff, like obviously, but specifically that part stuck out to me. Mm-hmm. So yeah. It was just a lot of like attacking and insulting from what I remember. In maybe like subtle ways, but still insults that don't really do anything. But that's the problem. They work so well because they rile people up, and that's the thing. Like even this book I was reading in for the class I was taking in marketing, it talks about that. And like if you want people to remember things, right? Like you have to make it juicy. Like you need to make it something that's easy to remember. And a lot of times it's something that invokes strong emotions, like very active emotions. So it's the same with politics, really. Like nobody, that's the problem. It's not even that these people are like manipulative just for the sake of being manipulative. A lot of times it's because that's what wins, like playing dirty. So, yeah. Yeah. But specifically, I'm focusing more on the concepts, not so much the information that's being shared, but like what is being shared and like, well, not what, sorry, how it's being shared, and specifically what I guess is actually right. Because like when you're having an argument about something and then you start sharing information that has nothing to do with that argument, like that isn't correct. Like say you start insulting somebody for something they did that has nothing to do with the argument. It's a fallacy, and that's not something you should be doing in arguments, especially I would hope in political debates between two possible presidents. But yeah, so yeah. Any Twitch streamers manipulative? I don't think so. Yeah. Yeah. And that's what kind of what I'm saying, Sky. Exactly. Like, it's not so much the information that's being shared. Well, how'd I put... I don't know how to explain it, man. I'm struggling here. I'm tired and like... It's been a long day. My back hurts. But you guys get what I'm saying. Like, you're arguing about one thing and you have information for that thing. Okay. But then the moment that shifts... This is a lot to explain. Then more streamers possessed. Well, you can't generalize streamers like that too. There's people who stream as like a side hobby, and then there's people who do it as a full-time thing. But yeah, I would say a lot of them are gamers, and I don't think they're here to manipulate people. I'm pretty sure they're here just to play their game, so don't tax us. I'm gonna have to. Yeah. But that's the problem. Like, you can be sharing something, right? That's backed up completely. There's a ton of fucking data for it. Whatever. Bunch of research. And then somebody will come and say something, right, against your argument that's just... has nothing to do with the argument. It has, like, nothing... It's just opinion-based, right? Or, like, it's just so much more of, like... I don't know, maybe an insult or something like that, and people remember that specific thing. They won't remember whatever the other person shared, because this thing stood out and it riled people up. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that happens a lot, like, even in just regular arguments, where you can be saying something that, like, it's backed up, right? Like, whatever, you're informed on it, you're sharing it, but then somebody says something like, oh, your feet smell, and then nobody's gonna remember what you said. So my point is that sometimes the people, it definitely could be, but sometimes it's also about sharing information in a creative way. They're very good at that, Spin. That's exactly what trolling is, but it happens so often. And it might not be as extreme as it is online, Tom, but it totally happens. Yeah. And people can be like, oh, he got you, your feet smell, ha ha ha. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, okay. But anyways. Dude, now that I like think about it, what's the actual definition of trolling? Like, I know when somebody's trolling, but like, I have no idea whose feet smell. I don't know. Who looks like they don't shower ever? Or wear socks? Without anyone noticing. Fair enough. That makes sense. Yeah. So they're just trolling. Debate singer, exactly. But that's a fallacy. That's what it is. It's fallacious. Like, it's but yeah. But it's really more specific. That is the definition. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Carefully and systematically search an area for something. Yo, Bishop! Thank you! I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Massage One. I'm definitely gonna need one. Yeah, this was a good stream. I didn't expect to stream for almost 3 hours, but it was good. And I'm gonna be up forever. But good stuff. So, yeah. Carefully and systematically search an area for something. Excuse me, and group of companies trolling for partnership opportunities. Huh. Trolling. Appeal to tradition. Faulty reasoning. Yes. But I guess that's not like... I mean, it kind of fits, though. You are searching for something. I mean, there's multiple... Like... What is it called? So, I know there's... Like, different arguments, right? That are fallacious, and... What was the list of fallacies? One sec. Appeal to something else, blah, blah, blah. Definitely feeling tired. I got it right here. Thank you. The good one is the sunk cost fallacy. I would consider that a fallacy. I think it is, actually. Yes, it is. That one, I think, is overall good to be aware of. Not in an argument specifically, but in your life. The whole, oh, I put so much time into this. I don't want to give it up now. That's definitely one that's not good to fall victim to. Appeal to ignorance. That's the one that traps gamblers. That makes sense. So, does this mean the word trolling is changing slowly? Trollolol. Troll. Or does it still mean the same thing? If you Google trolling, fishing does not come up. Let's see. Trolling. Troll. Slang. I don't want the slang though. Has anyone else noticed that the definition of troll has changed since it has become popularized? Reddit. Wait, what means what? No, that means people are too lazy to look up. Well, it happens all the time though. Like, the words do kind of change over time, it seems. We were just discussing this the other day, weren't we? I forgot what I was saying. And that's kind of the problem with it, though. Because if you have a whole group of people, a large group of people, and they start using a word differently, it becomes viral. It spreads. Yeah. Yeah. It is living language, basically. That's what it is. Like, words over time tend to change. Yeah. Yeah. I thought we were discussing this. We were discussing how something about words and hi Lemon, how you doing? Lemon spatula. Like there was a certain term for it that like I was researching because I was like studying this, right? Because we were studying, or not we, but I was taught, or I was going through stuff for the video I was working on, specifically that went into emotions and the use of language in emotions. But some people want to be persuasive, care enough to understand technique. Sure, I mean, that makes sense, but I do think over time that these words might change. Maybe there's going to be like two different definitions, two different words completely. I don't know. Because there's just a word for it. And you're right, like that is a thing, right? Like, yes, it still has its definition. And yes, somebody who wants to be persuasive, like you mentioned, will care. Like somebody who wants to go the extra mile. But it's a problem when most people use it incorrectly. Because it blurs communication a bit. Oh, we've been talking about so many things. Crap, I'm so tired. Somebody's gonna have to mention it because I'm literally like, and my room is a mess. Like, I have no idea how I'm gonna go to bed. Whatever, I'll figure it out. I wish I was more awake for this conversation because this is actually very interesting, but like, my energy has been like dropping and I can barely talk. And it's very rough when I can't talk because I'm not making sense. Yeah. But I was saying, like, when I was researching for that video and going into the definition of emotion and, you know, the process, right, overall, and then I think I was talking about how like these words are often intertwined or people use them incorrectly. It's the same problem. Like, it is a thing and it is a problem when people use words incorrectly. Like, for example, in the video, I mentioned how people say emotional, like you're too emotional and the connotation is bad. Although being emotional is neutral, it's not a bad or good thing. It's just emotional dysregulation that is bad, like reaction to emotion. And so it is problematic because now somebody who is emotional is seen as somebody who is not in control or bad. The associations are very bad, although it's incorrect. Like, that's not, again, a bad thing. It's neutral. So, interesting. Your piece about greatness? What piece are you writing about greatness? Oh no, I was working on a YouTube video for specifically this topic, but sorry, I'm a little tired, so I'm a little off. But yeah, so I was talking about like how like improper communication, especially when it comes to emotions and like understanding of emotions, is very detrimental. Specifically in relationships, right? Like when you're trying to express something and your partner disregards you and they say something like you're being too emotional, again, like that's not the right term. And being emotional, like, is not a bad thing, but yeah, it's weaponized oftentimes as something that's a bad thing. It's not. Dumbo, thanks for 53 months. What's up? What's up? Yes, but there's more than subjective because we do have like actual definitions for words for a reason, and that is not subjective. That is the definition. And when they're used incorrectly and you use a definition for one word that's not right, there's this issue that comes with that where it's now unclear, right? Like the communication's not clear. And then there's problems with association and connotations. So, honesty or kindness, interesting. Good question. Like, so either honesty or mean or lies and kindness? Right, exactly. It does cut confusion, but it also helps you not get manipulated. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, when you understand what you're saying and you know what you're feeling and you know that being emotional is not a bad thing, right? Like, and it's okay to be emotional. The way you react to it matters a lot. Honesty, kindness. Sorry, not sorry. Sorry. So, what was I saying? Tom distracted me. Damn it. yes, you can communicate much more clearly, but you also cut through the bullshit. Okay? When somebody's trying to bullshit you, like genuinely gaslight you, and weaponize certain things like emotions because there's a connotation attached to emotions, which again is not a bad thing. Emotions are a physiological response. They're human. They're a survival mechanism, basically. So whatever, they're meant for survival. And they're weaponized and they're made into something more than they are. Like, you know, emotions so bad. Emotions make you make bad decisions, when in reality, emotions are necessary for making good decisions. Yes, yes. The research for this is pretty interesting, I'll have to say. But yeah, if you don't have emotions, you tend to make worse decisions. Like, if that part of your brain is injured, it's hard to make good decisions. So, anyways, so stuff like that, if that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. We need pred. Why do we need pred? Where's pro? I don't know, dude. But pred wouldn't listen to anything. He's kind of in the deep end. But that's all I'm saying. So that's why it's good. That's like, I don't know. I keep emphasizing that, but that's why it's so important to communicate clearly. It's not about, oh, like everybody perceives it differently. No, that's not that. With communication, I do not think that is the case. Communication has rules. Like, you want to make communication as clear as possible. It's not about how somebody perceives it. The point of clear communication is so everybody's perceiving it the same way. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's literally the whole point. So like, that's to cut through the bullshit, and that's not to confuse things. That's to make it so you can be on the same level and be actually communicating the same thing. But when you miscommunicate things and use the wrong words, you're here, this person's here. You're here, this person's there. That's the problem. Like, you're not on the same level. Like, you're not talking about the same thing. So, yeah. Right. Right. They're both important. They are. Yes. Completely different wavelengths. Yeah, absolutely. Mm. Mm-hmm. But you know, yes, but I mean, emotion is very telling though. Like, emotions are there to tell you when things are going right or wrong. That's what they do. I do think that they can help you reason personally. Oh, I probably will have to go to sleep. I'm probably just gonna work tomorrow and hopefully I'll stream a bit tomorrow. You know what I mean? Well, emotions can't be wrong. Feelings can be wrong. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what you think that emotion is telling you. Emotions are not something you control. If you're feeling sad, there's no being wrong about sadness. You're feeling that. Like, that is a thing you're feeling. But the reason you're feeling it could be wrong. Like, the reason you think you're feeling it specifically. Thank you, Tom. Right. And they are very essential for human reasoning. They are, yes. Yeah, I mean, they're the reason we stop making certain decisions, right? Because we're like, well, that didn't make me feel good. I'm not going to do that again. And same thing with the opposite. Like, hey, this made me feel good. I'm going to do it again. And, yeah. Mm-hmm. You can be anxious without cause. Well, what would be wrong about it specifically? Like, an emotion can't be wrong. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, because it's not really like a thought. Do you know? Like, it's not controllable in that aspect. Like, so that I'm just trying to understand how it could be wrong, I guess. Well, it's manipulation. Hmm. Yeah. I do need sleep, but still. It is wrong that you're wrong for having it. Well, how is it wrong? Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I agree with what you just said. Yeah, emotions are valid. I mean, it's not something you can control feeling. Of course, again, like it's a response. Like it's telling you something. That is why, yeah, but that's not a bad thing though. Well, to what nothing. So yeah, so if that's the thing, it's your responsibility to figure out. So I understand what you're saying, right? Sometimes we're anxious about things for seemingly no reason, but our bodies like have these markers and they remember things. So somebody, for example, like being afraid of, I don't know, like a squirrel, right? So squirrels can make you anxious. Do you know what I'm saying? Again, that is a response, but that's just telling you something. That's all it's doing. So it's not wrong per se. Of course, like, you should not be feeling that, right? In the sense that, like, that's something you got to probably figure out if you're afraid of squirrels. I mean, I guess if you want to, or if you want to be afraid of squirrels. But the point is, that's all it is. It's just a response. Like, it can't really be wrong. Yeah, that's not how that works. It's not a wrong thing then though, because again, it's the way your body works, and works like that for most people. Like you become fearful of things that you know you kind of. Oh God, I'm tired, but if you went through a bad experience, especially as a kid, you're gonna be more fearful of something that reminds you of that, and that's not wrong. That's like that makes sense, but of course you could work on getting rid of that anxiety, but that doesn't mean that it's not valid. It's just there to help you survive, more or less. So, right, exactly. So, yeah, I don't think that, from just like a physiological standpoint, can't be wrong. Right, exactly. Like, that's valid and right on the same thing. Yeah, but you're applying like philosophy almost, like morals and like that into something that is physiological, if you know what I'm saying. Like it's not. Mm, although I do understand what you're trying to say that, but at the same time, I don't know if right or wrong is the right way to explain what you're trying to say. Does that make sense? Like, I do understand, but yeah. Mm, mm-hmm. Mm, 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 mm. The chemical response can be wrong. Mm. But I don't, again, I don't think the word wrong is what, like, I understand what you're trying to say. I just don't like the word wrong. I don't think it fits in here because it's basically, it's trying to, like, the word wrong is almost inserting morals into something that's kind of not, like, doesn't apply to, you know what I mean? Or not even so much morals, but. Mm, Having a hard time explaining it. I'm tired. Right. Hmm. Yeah. I guess I just need to understand more about what you mean by wrong from that point of view, but kind of hard to do. Chess Sharks, thank you so much for the raid. What's up? We're having a just chatting talk. No chess. Tired. How you been? Good to see you. Shout out to Chess Sharks, guys. Go check him out. Give him a follow. Mm-hmm. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Always get compliments on that bookshelf. Hmm. Hmm. Right. Hmm. I don't know. I'm not sure what you're trying to say here. I'll think about it. Try to understand it. This isn't something I'm capable of processing right now, I'll be completely honest. Not this year. Are you going? Mm-hmm. Oh, dude. I'm jealous. I'll go next year. But like it was so fun last year. I'm kind of sad I can't go this year, but it's so good. Like it's always so fun. Man, I'll have a good time. When we're wrong imply there's no old low brain memory causing anxiety. Hmm. Hmm. How could you know that? They might still. Yeah, they did email me, but I told Glenn I wouldn't be going this year. Are you going to be streaming it this year? What you're seeing. Right. Heck yeah, let's go. I'm gonna have to watch that stream. I bet it's gonna be fun. Right. Well, we'll see. We'll see. You better win. Both of you better win. Are you both gonna be there? Hmm. Bye, Lemon. Nice meeting you. I'm so tired. I'm like half awake, you guys. And the stream went on for 3 hours and I'm not done. I'm so sad. My room's a mess. I'm gonna go to. I have two monitors on my bed. Hmm. Oh well, it's okay. Oh, let's go. Oh, he's doing game analysis? All right. Yo, you were my twin last year till almost the end. Then we won our first 4 games, right? Yeah, I was gonna ask what that means too, but I think I'm too tired to process anything anymore. So I'm gonna have to like sleep through this and then think about that tomorrow. And then next time we can talk about if there is such thing as feeling a wrong emotion. No, I will not be sleeping with the monitors. They're just on my bed for because I removed them. But I'm so tired. First 5, dude. Oh yeah, because we lost the 5th one. I can't believe how I like spiraled downward after that. That was ridiculous. I cannot believe that. But it happened. It happened and I was pretty annoyed, but I'll live. What a tragedy. Romeo and Julia got nothing on my games last year. That was a tragedy. Like going so hard and winning 4 games and then losing the other 4. Uh. Consecutively too. Yeah, that's my problem. Like I don't think that right or wrong is useful either because unless you have a chemical imbalance, which like I I would argue is pretty rare in a lot of cases, like with clinical depression versus depression. I don't know what you call the other one. I know there's clinical and then just depression, like depressive state. They're not the same thing. Now, I do think like with the idea of wrong, like with clinical depression, there is some sort of permanent chemical imbalance. I do think that perhaps that's what you're trying to argue. I don't know. But I don't think that, like, that's if you're not going through consistent chemical imbalances. Like, I don't think that it would be considered. But that's not unprovoked, that's provoked. So you're saying it could be wrong if it's unprovoked? Because I don't know about that. All right. All right. You as well. I'll see you guys later. We gotta catch up sometime. Yeah, it does kind of have a judgmental connotation. That's why I didn't like the word wrong specifically, because I don't get it. Just misunderstood or unknown. Right, and that's what I'm trying to say. Wrong does not seem like the right word. Because yes, there's things that are not justified per se, or they don't make sense, but I don't think wrong is how to put it. I do think misunderstood is probably better. So, like, well, how can you say wrong though? That doesn't make sense because there's no right way of technically remembering something. It just does what it's supposed to do. Okay, I'm confused. Whatever. I gotta think about it, but I just don't like the word wrong off the bat. I do not like that word. Like, unless your brain's not functioning as it should be, I don't understand. And then you mentioned provoked and unprovoked. And provoked being if it was not functioning correctly, correct? Yeah. Only that possible emotions can be wrong. Yeah, I don't get that. That doesn't... I don't get that. I just don't, that word, I don't get how that would, okay. Confusing, my brain hurts. Yeah. I guess that we would have to refer to... Would we have to refer to neuroscience here or psychology? We want to... Probably... both. Okay. Yeah. That's my problem. Like, the word wrong comes off subjective. And just the whole word itself bothers me because it's... Yeah, that's why it's like, it almost feels philosophical and it bothers me because we're not talking philosophy in this case. We're talking about body's reaction to things. Like, and I don't know. All right. Yeah, I'm tired now too, so this was fun, but probably not the time to have this conversation. It's the wrong word. You were wrong for using the word wrong. But largely philosophical. Well, we're not talking about the philosophical aspect. We're talking about the physiological aspects. We're talking about the part that's been studied, right? Like how the body responds to emotions when it feels it, and that is not philosophical. That's where I will disagree with you, specifically with emotions. Emotions are not philosophical. Feelings could be the way you feel about something, the way you think about something, but that specifically itself is not. Not emotions. But that's just me. No, it's not just me. I'm pretty sure this is... I'm too tired for this. I don't care. I'm going. But, there's so many, like, there's a lot of research on emotions. No, I don't, feels, okay. Anyways. Maria Bill. Thank you, Bishop. Thank you. This is where communication is important, and say we're talking about the physiological aspect, not if emotions are philosophical or not. That's not what we're talking about at all whatsoever. We're talking about the body's response to emotions specifically. Anyways, and why we respond that way. Okay, whatever. I'll go now. I'm gonna go now. Bye, guys. Hopefully see you guys tomorrow. I did a really, really long stream by accident. It was meant to be like an hour, but now like I might have to work super late and yeah. We'll see. Good night, guys. Was fun. Good times. Enjoyed it. Take care.